Hello and welcome back to your mat. Today we're going to play with balance. So a little balance challenge today. So all balance poses. Don't worry, we're going to use props to assist us. If you have a block or blocks nearby, or a chair or a wall, something to help steady yourself if you know that your balance is really tough. So we'll get started with a quote by Jason Crandall. Yoga is the perfect opportunity to be curious about who you are. So with today's class, I want you to really think about that quote and be curious about who you are and how you're feeling in each of the poses. You know, do you find yourself judgmental of yourself for falling out of a pose? It's okay if you just notice that. So we're going to try to not be judgmental. We're going to fall out of poses, myself included, and it's okay. We're going to get right back to it. So let's get started. We're going to start out with just a couple of cat-cows to kind of warm up the spine a little bit. But otherwise, we're just going to jump into some balance poses today. So I'm going to move this tread a little bit out of the way here and my block out of the way. And we're going to start with some cat-cows. So if you know the pose, go ahead and get right into it and do a few rounds of those on your own. Otherwise, I'll walk you through it. Come into a tabletop position. Knees are underneath of the hips. Wrists underneath the shoulders. And you're on the inhale, you're going to arch your lower back and look up, bring your chin up. And on the exhale, you're going to round your lower back, round your upper back also, like a cat here. And then tuck your chin and look inside. So a few rounds. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round and tuck in. Two more. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, and exhale, round. All right, and for our first balance pose, we're going to stay in that tabletop position. So something else that you can do if you notice that your knees need a little padding is lay a blanket underneath your knees. So if you need to pause the video and go grab that, do so. But we're going to start in balancing table, and we're going to do one limb at a time here to start with. So come on into your tabletop position here. And we're going to inhale and just go ahead and bring that left arm straight out in front of you. And hold yourself here for a moment, breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And exhale, drop that left hand down. Now do your right arm. So bring your right arm out in front of you. Breathing here and balancing. And exhale, bring that arm down. Now we'll do the legs. So bring that left leg out behind you. Try not to dump over to the side. Try to stay here in a neutral spine the best you can. That may be harder or easier said than done, I should say. And exhale, bring that left leg down. Now your right leg will go shoot right back. Make sure you breathe here. And try not to dump into your abdomen there. Try to keep a nice neutral spine. And exhale, release that. Now we're going to add opposite leg and arm. If you would like, you may stick with just doing your arms or just your legs if this next one is too much. So for those who like to progress, we're going to go ahead and reach out that left arm in front of us and the right leg back. So opposite leg and arm. This is much more challenging, obviously. Breathe here and exhale, release that down. Like I said, you can always just do just one arm or one leg. All right, and now we'll do the other side. So go ahead and bring that right arm out in front of you and the left leg straight back. So opposite arm and leg, really balancing here. Try not to fall over. And exhale, release that. Nicely done. Go ahead and sit back on your heels for a moment. Now, if you found that you were in the first variation with just one arm or one leg out, that's fine. If you decided to go ahead and progress up to the next one, how did that one feel? You can obviously feel a much more challenge there. Now, we're going to do one more progression. You can stick with the previous two if you'd like, or you can go ahead and try to do, this one's even more challenging. We're going to balance on the same side now. So bring that left arm out and your left leg back. As I said, this one's more challenging. So you're balancing all on one side here. Release that. And now we'll do the other side. So go ahead and bring that right arm out. The right leg back. So same arm, same leg. This is a bit more challenging. You can always stick with the opposite leg and arm if you'd like, or just one arm and leg. And bring that back down. Sit back on your heels for a moment. Congratulate yourself because you tried it, or you did what worked for you today. So that was balancing table. You should feel a little bit of core engagement going on there. Now we're going to come into side plank. Now, some of us have wrist issues, myself included. So we're going to do a side forearm plank to take off some of that pressure from the wrist. So we're going to come down to our forearms. I'll start on the right-hand side. So go ahead and bring your right forearm down on the mat. And you can turn it slightly here to make this a little bit more accessible. And then what we're going to do to start, let me back up to start here. And again, if you would rather just come up on your wrist, you can do that also. So either one is fine. So go ahead and turn. We're going to start on the right side. So go ahead and turn your right leg out behind you. And then you're going to bring your left leg off to diagonal here. So you can either be up on your wrist. Actually, I think I'm going to do that because it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do the forearm. So I would suggest go ahead and stay upright if you can, unless you really have wrist issues. And here's a nice forearm balance to the side. So it's a side, I'm sorry, not forearm. This is side plank with the knee down. This is a great place to be and to start. You can bring the arm up overhead if you like. So here's a good balance to start with. And then go ahead and come back down. And now we'll do the other side. So go ahead and make sure when you bring this left arm out, it's at a diagonal, so it's not directly underneath of your shoulder. So go ahead and flip the left leg out now off to the side. And then you're going to bring your right foot out onto the mat. And then you're going to bring that right arm up overhead. So this is a nice side plank variation. This is a good place to start and to be. You still have to use your balance, not as much, obviously. Come back down. Now, you can stay with that variation, or we can come into, if you're feeling it, we can go ahead and come into having both of the feet stacked. So go ahead and stretch out that right arm again on the mat. We're going to come here now. Bring you're going to stack your feet. So my right foot is on the bottom. And again, another thing you can do to make this easier is step this left foot out in front of you. So this is also going to give you a balance. It's a good way to start. And then if you'd like to, you can go for it. Stack both of your feet. Now you can leave your arm down at this point if you'd like, or bring it up overhead. This is obviously more challenging. So if you'd like, go ahead and bring that left foot out and help hold you up, because you're still going to get a nice balance here. And exhale, release that. And now we're going to come over to the other side. I will tell you, it is much more challenging to talk while doing this. So I'm with you if this is tough. All right, let's go to the other side. So we're going to go to our left side now. So we're going to have our left hand out, and we're going to bring the left foot down, and we're going to stack that right foot on top. If you're feeling that that's working for you, bring your arm up overhead if you like. You can always step that right foot out in front of you to help with your balance here. But try to keep the hips up the best you can, whatever variation that you may be in. Try not to let them sink. Another breath, and exhale, and come on back down to the mat. All right, so now we're going to come standing. So those were our on the ground poses. Now we're going to do a couple of poses standing up. So this is where a chair might really come in handy. If you know that your balance is off and you just need a little extra assistance, go ahead and grab it, or a wall, just have something nearby. So now we're going to come into tree pose. So if you're outside, find a tree. If you're inside and there's trees outside your window, pick a tree as your focus point. So go ahead and whatever you're going to use as your prop, if you'd like to use one, and we're going to go ahead and turn that right leg out to the side here so it's bent. And if you'd like, you could stay right here. So you could have your heel up against the bottom of your leg. That's a great place to be. Or you can bring it up to your calf. Or you can skip the knee and come all the way up to the upper part of the leg there. So again, find your balance. I'm going to gaze out of here. I got this nice big tree to look at. And I'm going to use my prop here a little bit, my chair, because my ground is not super level. It may look level on video, but it's not as level as it looks. So that's adding to my challenge. Breathing, inhale, and exhale. Really find that point of gaze. If you fall over, it's okay. Come right back into the pose. One more inhale and exhale. And let that go and release that. Now we'll do the other side. Okay, so go ahead and turn out that left foot. And now we're going to come on over. And again, pick your variation. So if you need to leave the toes on the ground, this is still a challenge. So you can start to maybe barely bring your feet off the ground just to see if you can challenge your balance there. Or come on up to your lower leg. Or always skip the knee. You can come all the way up to your upper leg. And don't ever put your foot on your knee. That will stress the joint. And breathe here and find that point of focus out in front of you, whether it's a tree or a point on the wall or whatever it might be. And breathe here. You may find that one side is easier than the other. You may find that you have better balance on one side. That's possible. You may find that some days your balance is great and other days you cannot stand on one leg to save your life. It's all part of the practice. Breathe there. If you wobble, it's okay. Trees sway, you can sway also. And exhale and let that go. Very nice. All right, next we're going to come into Warrior 3. So Warrior 3, again, if you have a chair, this would be really helpful, or even a block. You could place a block down on the ground. I'm going to use the block, but you could always also use a chair. This chair is not a super supportive chair, so I would suggest having, and even a wall would work too. So a nice super supportive chair or a wall would be great for Warrior 3. So go ahead and place your block or get near your wall, whatever you need to do to help you balance in this pose. And we're going to start balancing on our right leg. So we're going to put all of our weight into our right leg. And then we're going to tilt forward. Now, if you'd like to use that prop, you can go ahead and start on the prop. So tilt yourself forward. You come to a nice L shape here. And then you're going to bring that left leg up behind you. So your hands could be on a wall here. They could be on a chair. Make sure it's one that won't tip over. And then if you feel like you're ready and steady, you can release one arm and the other arm. You can have them back behind you. They come out front. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. I like to keep mine out behind me. You can keep a micro bend in this right balancing leg. Try to keep that left leg elevated and your toes pointed toward the ground the best you can. Breathing here and release it. Nice. All right, and now we'll do the other side. So putting all the weight into your left leg. Now this time I'm going to skip using the block, but you please feel free to use whatever you'd like. If you want to use a block, a wall, chair, use any of those. Those are great tools. I'm going to attempt to do it without a prop, so we'll see what happens. All right, so we're going to balance on the left leg, and then we're going to tilt our body forward. I'm going to have a little micro bend in this left leg, and I'm bringing that right leg up behind me. Toes are pointed, hopefully mostly down, the best we can. You're looking almost like a T here. Breathing. Finding your focus point on the ground and something in front of you. One more inhale, exhale, and release that. Very nice. We're going to finish off with one last balance pose here. We're going to do eagle pose. So this is where a block could really come in handy. Go ahead and stand. And what we're going to do is we're going to start balancing on the right leg. So go ahead and bend both of your legs. And then you're going to take, I'm going to drop this block down a little bit. Bend both your legs. And then take that left leg and cross it over your right. Now here's where you could rest it on the block next to you. You're still going to be balancing. This is really going to help that balance. And you can always take the leg off if you like. If you're able to, you can wrap that left foot behind your right calf. That's a bit more challenging, and we haven't done a lot to warm up either. So if this is easier for you just to stay on the block or even hover off the block, breathe here, sink a little bit lower if possible. We're going to leave the arms out this time. and release and let that go. And now we'll do the other side. So I'm going to try the other side without the block. Again, use whatever props you may need. Again, you can use the wall, whatever you need to hold yourself up. Go ahead and bend both your knees and then cross that right leg over as if you were sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. And you can just have your foot dangling here if you like, or you can wrap it around the back of your left calf. Find that point of focus. Breathe. Whatever you need to do here. Grab a hold of a wall, whatever. If you fall out, come back into it. One more inhale. Exhale and come all the way back up. Nice. And we're just going to come seated for just a moment and just do a nice little quick twist just to release everything. And feel good that we tried something challenging for ourselves today. So go ahead and twist over to your right with your right arm behind you, looking over your shoulder. Twist. Feel happy that that is done. And we'll twist to the left. Left arm behind you. And come back to center. Congratulate yourself for trying this today. Whether you fell out, whether your balance was great today, whether it wasn't. Do this over and over again and see how it changes for your body. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for letting me lead you through this class, and I'll see you next time.